Hi there, I'm Dave Liu and welcome back to the final chapter of our on-prem digital media supply chain masterclass. By now, you've gone through all our prior chapters from DMSC strategy, solution selection, and implementation through onboarding, change management, and scaling out the solution. In this last session, we'll dive into how you can continuously improve upon and optimize your DMSC by leveraging all those foundational system, process, and organizational elements from the prior chapters. First off, you may be asking yourself, why bother doing anything more right now, right after you've launched and scaled out your DMSC? Aren't we just in sustainment? Well, as companies are focusing on their own unique digital transformation journey and trying to achieve a faster time to market, a flexible DMSC foundation is a key component for accomplishing that. And as such, they're typically going to need to adjust it to new digital use cases and challenges. As you've probably begun to realize through these chapters, a digital media supply chain can be successfully implemented, but it never fully ends. It's constantly evolving, improving, and optimizing, just as your business does to maintain that competitive edge. For instance, in the media entertainment world, digital media supply chains were originally built to mainly handle the whole managing and distributing of SD content, but they've had to change and evolve as the business has to handle the increasing size and complexity of HD, then 4K, then 4K UHD content workflows. And now, things like 3D augmented reality and virtual reality content are causing even more changes as well. Media entertainment companies are even leveraging more artificial intelligence and machine learning to better automate some of those previously manual activities, like validating the quality of their video, audio, and image assets through automated QC tools, and tagging metadata around each asset with facial, object, and even sentiment recognition. In the digital marketing world, we've seen with our clients firsthand that as companies focus on going global and getting their personalized content out faster, that brings additional challenges around having just a ton of different systems that they now have to deal with on a daily basis. From the creative tools, DAM and CMS, to campaign management and localization, and even usage rights management for all the various content and assets. As a result, many companies are creating customized user portals that leverage and integrate all those various tools to make it easier for their teams and business partners to actually find, use, and distribute their content and assets. As many consumer products companies are transforming their business from a business-to-business model to a direct-to-consumer model, this opens up the opportunity to get in front of your customers with even more personalized content using the data and analytics from all those various platforms. For instance, if you have customer interaction information from your direct-to-consumer platforms and a profile of their interest from your identity management platform, you can tie in your DAM metadata and assets along with some AI/ML magic to actually create personalized videos and images that match their interests. Then, serve them real time to your customers through your CMS or other marketing channels. There's a lot of optimizations and enhancements that can be potentially done to your DMSC, but before jumping into just any of those, you'll want to take a look at how you're realistically doing against your key performance indicators or KPIs. What are KPIs, you ask? Well, those are the benefits and corresponding quantitative measures that you had originally defined in your business case for return on investment. They're meant to be a measurable value that demonstrates how effective you are in achieving your business goals, so you'll want to make sure that you're regularly going back to those to evaluate how you're doing on your overall DMSC journey and sharing that progress with your leadership team. There are a lot of potential KPIs for your DMSC, but some KPI examples that we like to use are the increasing number of assets stored in the DAM and the increasing number of users and departments using the system, as those help to show user adoption for your DMSC. The increasing number of reused assets, which you can tell by seeing how many times an asset has been downloaded from the DAM, that in turn ties to reducing agency spend as a result of all that asset reuse. And in some cases, that may even equate to dollars saved from going digital and avoiding manual services as well. For instance, with one of our media entertainment clients, we were able to showcase the monetary savings from leveraging digital media delivery instead of traditional physical courier shipping of tapes and movie reels, and even things like physical asset management systems that had to take control of those. You can also have KPIs around reducing search time for digital assets from X minutes to Y minutes, and thereby reducing the amount of time for marketing teams to produce campaigns by Z%. Lastly, depending on the size and complexity of your organization and current state, you may even have some KPIs around dollars saved from consolidating systems, which would tie to your cost savings and cost avoidance numbers from your business case. As you can imagine, data and reporting from your various DMSC systems is a key piece for tracking against KPIs, and since you'll be regularly tracking these KPIs, it's also a good idea to automate some of these reports to more easily track them going forward. A good cadence for consistently measuring and reporting against those KPIs is on a monthly basis, as it gives enough time to observe and measure improvements. And it's a good way to leverage the ongoing enhancements and support team that we mentioned in the prior chapter to keep them accountable while you're also continuing to improve and optimize your DMSC. Now, along the same line of thought as measuring your progress via KPI tracking, it's also good to plan for periodic health checks for your DMSC. Don't worry, periodic health checks don't require a trip to the doctor's office, but rather in this case, it's an opportunity to take a step back from the day-to-day operations and, similar to your original current state assessment and future state definition efforts from Chapter 2, look at how you're currently progressing against your DMSC maturity model, check how you're doing against your competitors, and leverage those to determine areas of improvement and see if you need to adjust your future state vision or goals or KPIs based on the new business changes. Typically, you should plan to have periodic health checks every 1 to 2 years after you've gone live with your DMSC. And that's only because, realistically, a lot can change year to year given the more digital and customer experience focused world that we're all living in. Based on the periodic health checks and KPI measurements, you can now know whether you're still on track for your DMSC journey, and you can then focus on continuing to deliver further agile improvements and enhancements. As John talked about back in Chapter 5, companies and organizations have been moving to more of an agile model of operation, where they're basically breaking up work into iterative chunks or sprints and adjusting their backlog of user stories or requirements against their current needs. Sustainment is the perfect time to leverage more of an agile approach, as it's typically more flexible in nature and can help to ensure strong stakeholder engagement and alignment, since it closely involves business representatives as part of the process. Leveraging your Agile Enhancements team, you'll want to have an established cadence for your Agile sprints. And for that, we typically see anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks, as that would typically allow enough time to show some demonstrable enhancements. There's a lot to cover with Agile, and it totally depends on what methodology your company chooses to adopt, but within each sprint, the team typically performs the following Agile activities. Backlog grooming, where you're looking at the overall list of feature enhancement user stories in your backlog and prioritizing them based on your business needs. Sprint planning, where you're taking the backlog of user stories and slotting them into upcoming sprints for actual development. Daily stand-ups help to track what the team has accomplished each day, what they're working on next, and if there are any issues or blockers that they're facing. User acceptance testing is towards the end of the sprint, where the product owner actually gets to go in and test out the developed functionality. Sprint demos help to showcase what's been developed to the wider business stakeholders. And after every 1 to 2 sprints, you'll also want to have retrospectives to gauge what went well, what didn't go well for each sprint, and that way you can continuously optimize the development and testing process as well. We covered a lot in this session, so here are the top 4 takeaways to keep in mind when continuously improving and optimizing your DMSC. First, be careful around a mindset of just keeping the lights on versus actually trying to accelerate your business. You'll want to consistently deliver value for your business rather than just keeping things as is. Otherwise, eventually, your DMSC is going to become as outdated as some of the processes and tools that it was supposed to be replacing. Second, measure yourself against your KPIs. Just implementing a solution doesn't mean that you're actually recognizing the benefits that you thought you'd get. Third, plan for periodic health checks, as it's easy to get lost in the day-to-day operational weeds. Taking a step back to reevaluate yourself every so often is healthy for you and your DMSC. Lastly, be agile and continuously optimize. It can help speed up delivery and ensure that your program is consistently providing value and keeping your stakeholders engaged. And that's it for this final DMSC chapter. On behalf of all of us here at On-Prem Solution Partners, thanks for watching our Digital Media Supply Chain Masterclass series. Hopefully you were able to glean some useful insights and knowledge from these videos and now have a solid foundation to plan, build, and accelerate your DMSC programs. If you need additional help on your DMSC journeys or you're just interested in learning more, feel free to reach out to us and we'd be happy to chat more around you and your unique needs. And just remember, digital media supply chain isn't just a project or a single system. It's a program that can help you transform your business. So with that, bye for now, and stay tuned for some of our other exciting on-prem masterclass series around data analytics, customer experience, and more. Thanks for watching.